Yes, she is lame. What's everyone doing? I'm Jared. I'm here with the Phoenix Press. What's up, brother?
Not much. How you doing, my man?
Doing very well. I'm here with JJheat Blaze. How you doing, dude?
Flame on! How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing very well. And we're here with Taladia Plays. What's up, dude?
What's up, my brothers? And JJheat, finally, you're on time. I can say that much.
All right.
Very funny.
The Heat is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Indeed.
Not bad. So today we have a packed show in terms of topics today. So we got Carol Ferris not being the love interest in Lanterns for some stupid ass reason.
But
wait. MCU Spiderman leaks, DC All In, Jay Oliva debunks animation, and the 2025 MCU slate. So which should we talk about first?
Let's go, Carol.
Vote.
Sorry.
Vote.
Second it. Let's get it out the way.
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
get
hang
out the
on.
way.
I gotta see. Do I have a proper Oh, I got it.
What?
It involved the Green Lantern. I had to. What do you want to say, Nick?
I gotta say. I guess you could say this. This topic. It isn't very Ferris.
That's the joke you told me about?
Yeah, it's not very Ferris.
I
don't get it.
brutal, dude.
Carol Ferris.
Yeah, that's brutal even for you. So today,
You guys aren't being Ferris to me.
So here's the stupid thing. All right.
Stupider than my pun.
In the latest example of the DCU screwing up, it feels like we talk about this every week. But so we got some castings for Lanterns. Kelly MacDonald is playing the love interest for Hal Jordan. She's not playing Carol Ferris. So immediately I'm like, wait. Because some people have tried to say, Hal has had some other love interest in the past. I'm like, yeah, but who do they always come back to?
Most of those were either one-night stands or an alleged bad case of catfish. And that is as far as I'm going to go because this is a PG show.
Yeah, there's one that's like egregious, but see, here's the thing. All those people that were like, they're Superman and Lois are a classic couple. It's fine to break up Hal Jordan and Carol Ferris. There's a word for that, Nick. It starts with an H. It's on the tip of my tongue. You might help me out?
Hypocritical?
Yes, exactly. Thank you. It's very hypocritical. For the love of God, it's like, see, here's the thing. I was promised comic accuracy or like a respect for the source material. Well, then again, one of the writers on the show is Tom King. So we know that respect for the source material went way out the window. Hey, what's up, Cameron? We know respect for the source material went way out the window a long time ago.
I mean, who knows? We could have Hal eating rats at some point.
Stop, Nick. Stop.
Worse, Nick. We could also have Damon Lindelof from Lost on the show. Oh, wait, we do.
Next thing you're telling me, Batman's going to have an all-yellow bat suit. I
mean, he keeps his mask on. It's better that way.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Well played, sir.
Or Wonder Woman is going to call someone sperm bank. But anyway, that book is such a weird
I mean,
book.
it's 1 o'clock, so...
That book is so strange.
You're going to get monetized, Nick.
Yeah, please. But anyway, and Cameron says, wait, back up. Carol isn't going to be in Lanterns. Well, we don't know if she's not going to be in Lanterns. We just know she's not going to be the love interest for Hal Jordan. Which, again, here's the thing. They cast a pretty good Hal Jordan. Kyle Chandler is actually a pretty decent choice for Hal Jordan.
Yeah. A little up there in age, but all in all, he could pull it off.
That's what they were going for, though.
Okay. Can I just do the
go ahead.
standard rant of they booted Henry Cavill because he was getting too old.
I know, it was just getting too and before you say that, before people try and refute, oh yeah, it wasn't about age. That was literally the first reason why Gunn gave for why Cavill isn't Superman anymore.
I'm sorry, but Michael Cornsweat is Henry Cavill at home.
David Cornsweat.
David Cornsweat, sorry.
Don't you mean Timu Henry Cavill?
that too.
He's Baby Cavill. He's Baby Cavill.
Thank you.
At least
Thank
Baby
you.
Cavill's cute. Baby Cavill's cute.
But that's the thing. See, where I'm disputing this, the reason why I point out all these stupid things is because, again, I was promised that this would lead to more like respect for source material. Hey, what's up, a nerd man? Here's what's going to happen. Superman's going to be decent, maybe even good, and the Gun Bros are going to overstate that to the moon and then make ludicrous excuses for Gun to do anything in the universe.
More than likely.
Yep. Thank you, hot take.
Yep.
That's probably what's going to happen. Or it'll be good, but also maybe it won't make enough cash for them to justify. But they'll be like, making money doesn't matter. And I'm like, yeah, it does.
I'm with you guys. I don't think Superman at the very least is going to be a 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10 movie at the very least. I think at most the best we can hope for is like an 8.5. I don't think he's going to make a 9 out of 10. 9 is like Guardians territory. He's not going to hit Guardians territory.
And we all know 10 out of 10 is Man of Steel territory.
Yeah, and 11 out of 10 is a Snyder cut. So
yeah, we all know that. But there's no way it's gonna get to that point. I mean, if he does so, it will be very surprising because I have hated everything Gunn has done with DC. That's the scary part for me.
The only thing that gives me hope is he being forced to make a PG-13 movie, and it is proven that when he put Gunn under those restrictions, he actually does pretty well. Like Guardians.
Problem, Nick.
What?
This is about a character that's like the most recognizable character next to Jesus. So the problem is when he has all these expectations, because the thing about Guardians, he could do whatever he wanted creatively because no one cared about Guardians.
I'm more talking strictly from like a content perspective.
Yeah.
Because he can't do his crutch like I'm sorry, I think like his like foul mouth baby humor is a crutch he relies on, and that's why like
he could still make his baby humor. I mean, look at Guardians 3.
2 words: Guy Gardner.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason why Guy Gardner is the Green Lantern in this movie, or like the Green Lantern all in white, because that makes sense. Randy says it would be funny if Superman Legacy makes less money than Man of Steel. That would be hilarious. It definitely will. That's what I'm anticipating in terms of cash, in terms of what this makes.
I think it's going to make less money than the Batman. I'm thinking 650. That's my prediction.
Yeah, exactly. I think so too. And then if Superman doesn't do good with DC's biggest character, no, because here's the thing: Superman is not DC's biggest character. Batman is. If they were smart, they would start with a Batman movie.
But you already got the Batman and then Penguin and then
I know that, JJheat, but of the 2 characters, which one is more guaranteed of a $1 billion franchise?
Oh yeah, definitely Batman. But I feel like because of you got to take general audiences into account. At the end of the day, this all boils down to casual and general audiences.
Yeah, Batman.
Defaulting back to Batman is playing it safe from a general audience perspective.
But with DC's history of cinematic universes screwing up and underperforming, they need to play it safe.
And here's the thing: yes, Batman is playing it safe, but Batman brings in money.
That is true. That is true.
As long as it keeps doing that, I'm not saying make just a trilogy of Batman movies and then DCU. I'm saying start with a Batman movie, then because you can use Batman as also a like gateway character to see, like, here's the Justice League, here's Superman. So you can introduce the characters gradually and then move on to their movies.
I mean, here's what you do. Okay, you do a Batman movie where like it's a year 2 or 3 movie, but he's always been in the shadows. Like he's always been an urban legend. And at the end of the movie, it's confirmed that the Batman exists. Okay, for some reason. And the post-credits scene is Batman's and then all of a sudden he sees somebody in the sky, and it flies down, and it's Superman. It says, "Bruce, we need to talk."
Or here's the way I would do it. I would do it where all we see him just walk into a building, the lights turn on, and it's the round table with 7 chairs, and it's the League. That's all. It's the shot over the shoulder of him. There's like Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Hal, and a bunch of other guys. Who is the Flash? I could care less. Go ahead.
No. What it is Batman gets called to a building. And and it's Superman there, and there's like the sheet on this table. It's like, you know, we need you to start playing by the rules. And what do I get for complying? He falls off the table, and it's the Justice League table.
Yeah. Or no, to expand on that, he walks into the room and sees a sheet. The other leaguers come out of the shadows, and he goes, and then someone goes, Bruce, well, why'd you call us? And then and we can have Batman go, because we can't save the world alone. He pulls the thing up, the Justice League table.
Personally, I think having too many risking having too many at once. That's my opinion.
Just as a post-credit scene, that's
the thing. Having too many people at once, I think is a little bit. But that's my opinion. We can agree to disagree on that one.
Hot Take says the reason Green Lantern is set on Earth is because given the budget to the Authority. That's the other thing. People forgot that one of the criticisms that they gave to the Green Lantern movie is it takes place too much on Earth.
See, here's a problem with Green Lantern. Green Lantern requires a large budget to do properly. But Green Lantern is not a popular enough character to give it the budget to justify
then
the
don't
budget
do a Green Lantern property. That's the thing.
But he's popular enough that you should. That's why we've never gotten, we've only gotten one Green Lantern movie because he's just kind of in that weird where it's like he's popular enough to you want to make a movie, but not popular enough to give him justify the budget he needs.
That's why what I would do, don't give him a project. Have him show up in another movie, like maybe Justice League. See how the audience reacts to it. And then say, okay, so we have people loving this Green Lantern. Put the budget behind it. And by the way, Tevia says YouTube is glitching out again, so he has to use his backup channel. Okay, dude.
Do what you got to do.
What you want to say, JJheat?
I will say this. Now, granted, I was not the biggest fan of Green Lantern 2011 as a kid. I will openly admit that here and now. That being said, Green Lantern First Flight, an animated movie that came out, I don't know, like 2010, 2012, somewhere around there. It is literally based on Green Lantern Secret Origin. I forget which one, but I know it's based off Green Lantern Secret Origin. The structure, the pacing.
Pretty much it's that.
Yeah, you really didn't have to change that much budget. Now, granted, Green Lantern is high B tier IP-wise at best. No one is refuting that, Nick. I'm not going to take that away from you. Mm-hmm. But even with that, what Ryan Reynolds got in 2011, that was way too small of a budget. Way too small.
But here's the other thing. It's like, no, because Green Lantern should be a layup because it's like, okay, it's high sci-fi. People like sci-fi. Look at honestly, I can't name a sci-fi show off. Look at Dune. There you go. You could make a Dune-like show for Green Lantern easily. But the problem is,
you're saying to hire Denis Villeneuve for Green Lantern?
You walked right into that, Jared.
Yeah. I feel like later on Superman should personally invite Batman to the league after him refusing. I don't know if it should be Robert Pattinson or someone else. It shouldn't be Patterson, but we've had that conversation.
Okay, can I just say this? I could see a Tower of Babel Justice League movie with the Patterson Batman. Like, I could see that really working out really well.
Like, we retcon it where he had these plans even before he joined the league. Like, he knows these heroes exist, so he started those contingency plans by studying them.
Or he's already had them for some time because he is the Batman.
No. I mean, he's had the plans for some time, but he hasn't met the league yet. He just knows these characters exist, and it's like, in the off chance this turns really bad, I need to be able to kill these people.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I could totally see the Patterson Batman doing that too.
Yeah, exactly. And so then no one really cares about the Authority except for James Gunn. That's what really cares. But most of these projects are just stuff that Gunn or his friends had pitched to DC and they turned down. So now that he's the head of the studio, guess what he can do now? Do you want to say, Taladia?
The reason why they're doing Lanterns as a show is because they tried to lift it up in the DCEU. If you remember, they were going to be called the Green Lantern Corps.
Yep.
Remember, so for them now to turn it into a show, it's like, okay, great. You know, at least it's off the ground. It's not been up in the air for
that
so
got
many.
Scratched. But even on that, see, here's the problem with that. It's like, because again, a lot of the other DCU stuff is. By the way, here's what they don't tell you. Gunn is just recycling Hamada era ideas for his universe. That's what he's doing. He's just taking ideas that Hamada was going to do.
Wait, so you're saying the hierarchy of the DC universe did not actually change?
Probably not. Terry says, question, will any of these projects even go forward? Superman success? It's
too early to say. Too early.
If it's a failure, it would have to fail spectacularly. You would have to do flash numbers in order for them to cancel everything based on one movie. Now here's the thing. Here's the other thing we have to consider. WB is probably going to be sold soon.
Mm-hmm.
So if this universe that they've been touting spectacularly fails, it's not going to work. I also do think that if Superman fails, Gunn will not be the head of DC Studios anymore because his contract expires literally when Superman releases.
And I think it's pretty safe to say, if this Gunn initiative fails, they're not going to do another one before the sale because the sale is already like pretty close. And even if it's like 2 or 3 years until the sale actually goes through, they're not going to waste their time starting another one up. Like maybe you might see like 1 or 2 other projects come out, you know, maybe even some of the Gunn stuff. But I don't think they're going to start something fully new until after the sale.
They'll come out with like one-off movies just so they can get DC content out there. But yeah, they're not going to make an entire universe until they're in a more secure position. In other words, on the new leadership and all the new ownership and stuff. Because again, what would be the point of starting a plan and then all of a sudden the new people come in again and say, April Fools. Okay, so JJheat, go first.
Okay, not to mention and added to your point, Nick, the Sarnoff and Hamada, all that whole that basically what happened with Warner Brothers during the interim before Warner Brothers Discovery ate up a lot of assets and talent all across the board. Like there was no time to salvage the DCEU, if at all, because you got. Be that as it may, you do have Warner Media in 2018. I will give you that, Jared. But given all the bad blood going on at the time, because like Nick likes to point out this exact term, I'll quote it now. They had to make the Snyder Cut kicking and screaming. Like it was just bad blood all across the board. And by the time,
sorry, you finish your stuff, then I'll go. Actually, Claudia, then me.
Okay, and by the time all was said and done, that's when you got Zaslav and WBD, and they're just now picking up solid ground. Now, will Zaslav cut his losses and sell off Warner Brothers / DC, regardless of Superman Legacy? Probably. I'd argue very likely. But
I'm just saying, it's like if Superman Legacy fails, that's gonna make because as we know, when a new ownership takes over a company, they clear out the leadership, and if Gunn's movie fails before the sale, that's going to make it even more likely he's not going to be in charge. By the way, real quick, and then I'll go to you and then Nick. So do you guys know that like that like people were like, the reason why Cavill is not Superman anymore is because he made the announcement without having a contract? Well, Sasha Calle had a 10-picture contract, and she ain't playing Supergirl anymore. And she was probably one of the best parts of the Flash.
And the worst part is, she was probably the best part about her role in the Flash is almost universe. Like even the people who were like us, we were like, okay, I was not enthused with Sasha Calle. Like I wasn't very enthused about her. But when I saw her, I was proven wrong.
In fact, Man of Steel 2 was going to be Cavill mentoring her.
That would have been a good movie.
Yeah, it would basically be, from what I know, the adaptation of Superman Brainiac.
Well, okay, Jared. Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, but with Henry and Ben Affleck as Batman. With Sasha Calle, Supergirl.
And Batfleck talking to Ray Porter Darkseid, release the Hellspores!
Okay, yeah, like that scene. But like, can you just imagine?
Yeah. Right. So, Taladio, what'd you want to say?
So, hate to be like, I have to put the positive side as the negative, right?
Of course.
Right.
The way I see it, right? Superman would have to make, I would say, Venom or Madam Web Venom 3 or Madam Web numbers in order for the universe to go like, oh yeah,
Well,
you know
here's
what?
the thing, dude. Which Venom? Because Venom 1 made $1 billion.
Not
He's
Venom 1. I'm talking about either the second or the third one.
Okay. But here's the thing. It depends on what the budget is, because from what I hear, the budget's like 300 million, not counting marketing.
Yeah, if it makes anything less than 400, like if it doesn't gross as much as Black Adam, if Superman cannot outgross Black Adam, that's a black eye.
Well, here's
But
the
no,
thing. If Superman can't make as much as Man of Steel, that's a problem, because that is double the budget.
And that's
But you
even with before inflation.
But you guys got to remember, though, guys, this isn't the same Warner Brothers as it was 10 years ago.
I know. Arguably,
So-
it's worse. Is it worse?
No,
I think
but
it's
the
kinda
thing
worse.
is, they're in a situation where they were 15 years ago, 10 years ago, where they were able to make big blockbuster movies like Man of Steel, Batman.
Yeah,
vs.
the
Superman numbers.
expectations are not as high as they used to be.
The
No, but-
expectations
but-
aren't there
but-
anymore. So
I will say this. Here's a counterpoint to Ladia. The way Zaslav is representing this to people, he's making it like, oh, gun is on a mission from God. And it's the way he's marketing this, it makes it sound like they're expecting $1 billion or close to $1 billion.
Because here's how I take it. The Batman was a reasonable success. I think that's a fair statement.
For
That
the
made-
budget, that was like stupendous.
But listen, it made $700 million. Okay. I don't I don't even think Superman will have a hard time reaching even that number. So if it can't even reach the Batman numbers on a much higher budget, it makes, and even though the Batman made good money with its budget, it's still struggling to get a sequel. Like, we should be looking forward to the Batman 3 by now. We should have gotten the Batman 2 like a year or two ago.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think WB is still in that mindset that because it's Superman, because it's arguably the most iconic character in all of pop culture, he should make $1 billion at every movie. And that,
The potential is there.
I agree with Tevia. Not every movie needs to make $1 billion to be a success, as we saw with like Man of Steel. But the reason why Man of Steel that they were able to pocket more of the money is because they made back their, like, I think it was like their marketing budget just with product placements. That's why Sears is in the middle of Man of Steel. That's why, because they figured out to game it. Okay, that's how we do.
I mean, not only that, but there's literally a fight scene in an IHOP.
Yeah, so that's why they did that. So when that movie gets critiqued, I'm like, hey, that was actually a good business decision.
Oh, like, I guarantee you, like, the marketing budget for Power Rangers is probably solely paid by Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. Is it a special place? Oh, yes, it's a special. I love that.
Yeah.
But what I think as well, we also got to take into consideration the whole situation with the DCU. It's not the DCEU, right? It's never going to be the DCEU.
No.
The way things are structured out is different because the DCEU never had shows, animation. They never
almost
had that.
did with Krypton.
Wait, wasn't that supposed to be standalone?
That was
It started off in the conception stage as a tie-in to Man of Steel. That's why if you notice, even when they go to the Fortress of Solitude, the S looks very much like the Man of Steel S. What do you want to say, Nick?
See, the thing is, there was kind of a moment in time, like, around the time of, like, because Aquaman made $1 billion.
Yep.
Okay. And then Shazam did okay numbers. There was kind of a moment in time where they could have made, like, the post-Snyderverse stuff work, you know?
Because they had to start immediately with Superman. If they had come out after Shazam with Superman, or like Man of Steel 2, let's say, the Batman, if they had just bit the bullet and said, you know what, we'll work with Henry, we'll work with Ben. Ben, do your Batman movie. That's fine. Henry, do Man of Steel 2. Because again, people say they want them to copy Marvel. What Marvel did is they at least established, here are our top players. We have Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, and Captain America. Those are our foundation. Once we establish that foundation, then we can expand to Guardians. Again, I say this every week. Guardians doesn't happen unless those 4 characters were successful first, and Avengers, obviously. But my point is, because here's the thing, DC was in a better position than Marvel was because Marvel was forced to use their D-listers at the time. DC had access to literally the most iconic characters in all of comic bookdom.
Oh, also, like, I know we talk about this a lot, but I don't, like, imagine
Yeah,
if Shazam 2 was actually Black Adam. And, okay, here's how I would have done it, okay? Like, you would have had Henry Cavill in this film, but then you would have shown that because Superman has no defenses against magic, Black Adam actually proves to be too much for him. And the only person who can take Black Adam down is Shazam because of the magic stuff. So basically, you do, it's like, oh, why doesn't Superman help him? Because he literally got fried.
Yeah. Or here's what you could have done. Make Shazam, if you want to do Fury of the Gods. So you know how it's about the gods, right? If only there was a DC character that's drawn this universe that involves the gods. Oh yeah, Wonder Frickin' Woman.
Okay, here's a question for you. Let's say they had Zeus in this hypothetical movie. Who would you have cast to play Zeus in this movie?
Just pick the guy from Justice League because the same guy from both versions.
I would have said Gerard Butler.
Yeah, but you can't because he was already cast in both versions of Justice League.
Okay.
So it would already be him. But that's my point. Because what they could have done, even if they didn't want to give them solo movies anymore, have them do team-up movies. Because Marvel's never done a Thor 3 notwithstanding, but they've never done a strictly buddy cop team-up movie. So you could have had Shazam and Wonder Woman. You could have had... How... Would people get hyped for a movie called World's Finest, Superman, Batman, World's Finest?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And when you think about it, this is a Batman and Superman that fought each other. So now you see them start to become best friends.
I mean, a live-action Superman Batman apocalypse.
Yep. And that's
Also,
how you bring in Sasha.
Big Barda, Unicrono.
Yeah, exactly. How about instead of 1984, we have Spirit of Truth? That also works too with yes, JJheat, but Black Adam versus God Killer. Yes. Spirit of Truth, the Alex Ross book. Like a Wonder Woman movie should be priority number 1. And here's the thing, in hot takes, I agree with you. They should make another Wonder Woman movie, except here's the thing. As I've said many times on this channel, DC, for some reason, does not respect the Wonder Woman character. Like, at all.
I'm just going to say this. I want a Wonder Woman movie by Catherine Bigelow.
You would.
Can
You
I say
would.
something?
Could that... Nah.
Hurt Locker.
Oh, you mean the most inaccurate military movie of all time?
I say this because Catherine Bigelow is she has a knack for directing manly men. Like her
Manly men, and she's in a Wonder Woman movie.
I think she could do a Wonder Woman movie pretty well.
Nah. Judging by her inability to stay true to one group of source material, I don't trust her with comics.
Okay. Here's my question for you guys: a hypothetical Wonder Woman movie, with or without Gal, who should direct it?
First off, it has to be Gal, and second off,
Okay,
I would go with. I can't think of a female director, a director I would trust with that yet. Ridley Scott.
Well, how about while we're thinking about it, Talati has something.
I got it. Real quick, the director, The Northman. Go ahead, Taladia.
I was gonna say, right, the whole thing as well. We also got to remember taking to this as well is the reason why I thought that we are getting another Wonder Woman movie is because of Wonder Woman 84 left on a bad taste.
Yeah,
That's
but
the thing.
that movie still. See, here's the thing: that movie didn't do, at least according to Brit, as much of a blight on her reputation as people say it did.
No, but it left a taste to the point where I don't think WB are like, okay, you know what? Let's do another movie and have Patty Jenkins and Gal return and all that. And the thing is, they're not going to do that, right? They're not going to, like right now, because of the whole reboot and everything, they're not going to bring back Gal back, right? And if you're watching this Crazy Joe, you probably are. I'm going to say this right now. She's not returning. Deal with it.
Neither is Zachary Levi as Shazam for a lot of different reasons beyond the reboot. But anyway, like a team up movie with Shazam. It's called Shazam. Billy Batson and Wonder Woman. Yeah, that particularly in a movie literally called Fury of the Frickin' Gods. By the way,
Yeah.
Hot Take says, I think we should be doing all the Trinity and marketing it as DC does with the Trinity. That way, if one movie doesn't do good, you have 2 other chances to sell tickets. Yeah.
Well, the problem is Trinity is not like a household name. You put Batman and Superman, for example, Batman and Superman Apocalypse is technically a Trinity movie, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, you could do that, and then what you could do is, if you put the logos on there's a way you can market it, but I think it's easiest just to do Nick's point. Pick a story that's basically a Trinity movie, like Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, or Apocalypse. Just do that. Because, yeah, it's a Trinity story at this point. At a certain point, very early in the story, Wonder Woman joins and doesn't leave to the end of the book. That's it. That's all you do.
And at the end of the movie, Superman and Wonder Woman go for a date.
Yeah, exactly. Eye of the Gorgon, that's another good storyline you could do. But the point is, going back to Carol Ferris out as Lanterns. So, again, here's why I'm so stuck on this. And Britt actually brought this up when I sent this to her. How come they're allowed to explore other love interests with, like, Hal Jordan, Batman, but not with Superman? He always has to stay with the lamest DC character. Exactly. It's called hypocrisy, guys. It's called hypocrisy.
I think the only time they did that was Superman 3, and that's only because there was a contract dispute with Margot Kidder.
Or technically Smallville for like the first couple of seasons. By the way, you know what's kind of funny about Smallville? The seasons where Lois does not show up are the best seasons. It's almost as if that's kind of a coincidence. I think not. By the way, so my mom and my dad and I watched Superman, Lois and Clark last night, and you know what my mom said? I hate Lois. She's so annoying.
Also,
like, me too.
Jared, you have to admit, Dean Cain made a good Superman.
Yeah, he was a great Superman. I'll give you that. He was a good Superman. And the special effects for the time period were not that bad. I was like, wow.
By the way, these are mid-90s special effects.
Yeah, and that's what was so crazy to me. Like, even when he's flying, like when he's walking up the side of the room, I was like, interesting. So anyway, let's transition to a different topic. So we got
transition.
We got MCU Spider-Man, DC All In, Jay Oliva, or the 2025 Marvel slate. What do you guys think?
I picked the last one, so you guys are at go.
JJheat.
All In.
Taladia.
All in.
Okay. So we're talking about DC All In, the initiative. So far, it's going pretty well. So we got the DC All In special. It basically was like, okay, so they explained how the absolute universe was created. All right. So Darkseid in the Omega part of the story thought there was something missing. So he wanted to create something. So what he did was he traveled throughout the worlds trying to find the Spectre. So so remember the miracle machine from Final Crisis that Superman used to like undo everything? Darkseid built that, blood bonded it to him, and then wished that the Spectre were bonded to him.
Oh.
And then the Spectre is ripped from him, brought to him, because what he wants to do, he shows up at the Watchtower as they're announcing the new Justice League with their super sleek ID cards.
Oh, God.
And
we need to get that card away from you.
I'm now a Justice Leaguer. Suck it. But anyway, so then, so here's the funny. So Superman destroys Darkseid, but that was all part of Darkseid's plan. So the energy that's released when Darkseid is destroyed leads to the establishment of the absolute universe. Because there was this Earth that was uncharted in the multiverse. I think it's called like Alpha or something like that. Earth Alpha.
That was Elseworld.
Yeah, the Elseworld that was found, that was discovered at the end of Death Metal, and the energy kind of changed it. And what this is, So the absolute universe is explained in that page. What it is, you take away the support network for these superheroes. Like Wonder Woman, instead of being raised on Paradise Island, is raised in hell. Batman does not have his cash and is kind of an anarchist. Arguably, Batman has always been an anarchist, but okay. Superman is the most hopeful being in a hopeless world. That's kind of essentially what he is. And then we get the dope image of Superman like that. So that's all in. In terms of the other books, Lois has superpowers and is going by Superwoman now.
Lame.
Well, here's the thing, Nick. Reportedly, here's the problem. I guess the whole Lois makes Superman human because she's human. That excuse went right out the window.
Okay, I gotta ask you guys. What is worse? Lois Lane Superwoman or Jackpot?
Lois Lane, because you see, at least Mary Jane is a good character without the powers. Because when they give Lois, because here's my problem. This is another example of them giving a character powers because they have literally no idea what to do with the character anymore. That's what it is. That's why they give these. That's why they made Lois head of the Daily Planet and basically made her a screaming Perry White. Isn't it funny? Lois is the J. Jonah Jameson of DC now, except not cool.
You know, if she does get like Superman's powers, her character's name should be Super Lane.
Yeah, that's true.
Low hanging fruit.
All right, so here's the part that doesn't make sense. Are you ready? So absolute power. So the absolute power event, the superheroes have their power stolen by those failsafe by those Amazo robots. So the idea is if we hit those Amazo robots so the way the Amazo robots like heal themselves.
Chat.
Yes, exactly. I see. Yeah, Lois with powers is just a gender bent Clark, and
He's back.
so here's the thing. So they explain. So the Amazo robots heal themselves. So the superheroes like, how's this happening? So it turns out they're like manipulating time within their body. So essentially resetting to a time when they weren't damaged. Okay. So if we hit the Amazos with this device, it will reboot them and return our powers. So they do that. And it reverts to a point before they lost the powers. But some of the powers don't go to the heroes that they were at in the past. Like Fire gets Ice's powers and vice versa. Lois apparently got someone's powers. But that doesn't make sense with the internal logic. And I know logic is when I'm talking about Mark Waid, a story by Mark Waid, that doesn't make
Jared,
sense.
you need to play the Hulk clip. Time travel.
Yeah. How about you, JJheat? What you got?
From what we have officially, this is strictly within the comic. From what we have officially, it's Time Commander. He's kind of roped into a time loop. Okay, you work for me. You do what I need. This is Amanda Waller. You do what I ask you to do, which is help. Use his technology to help retrofit the failsafe and the other Amazobots. Mm-hmm. Then this ties into a contingency from I believe it was Scott Snyder's Justice League run. I could be wrong. It's a Deus Ex Machina, MacGuffin, whatever you want to call it. And it kind of leads to this whole thing like, okay, yeah, we broke the loop, but that doesn't mean everyone's powers return to their intended host. It's kind of scattered about.
But still, if they're working with time, it should go back to the way things work. By the way, The Watcher, I have read more classic Superman stories. I still hate Lois. But anyway, I appreciate you for bringing that up, dude. But no, here's the other thing that's really stupid. So they reveal there's this character named Time Trapper. And he has the most so it's Doomsday, but in a
What are you going to call?
Time Trapper. Yeah, so to each their own. We'll watch it. Hey, that's totally fine, bro. But Time Trapper is an emaciated Doomsday, and it looks very disturbing.
So they modeled him after Sam Witwer?
I don't see it.
No, I get the bid, but no.
Okay, for those who don't know, Sam Witwer played Doomsday on Smallville.
Oh, you mean Hulk? So this is Time Trapper.
That just looks like Ebony Maw from Marvel.
That is Ebony Maw.
That's Doomsday. I know.
It's Ebony Maw.
stupid.
It's
So
Ebony Maw.
besides that, Green Lantern is great, surprising no one. Wonder Woman is still utter dog crap, again, surprising no one. Detective Comics, I can actually understand what the hell is going on because Ram V is off the book. They even made a change to Batman's origin. So it turns out, so you know how Thomas Wayne was a doctor, right?
A doctor that also happened to own a multi-billion-dollar corporation that he had nothing to do with.
Yeah. So with so what they established here is, and Jay, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. So it was the idea that so this woman came in, she was the girlfriend / wife of Joe Chill, and she had been beaten. And the thing is like, and then Joe Chill was in the hospital already because of an accident, a car accident. And they couldn't hold him anymore. So they just, so essentially they helped his girlfriend disappear. And then they discharged Joe Chill. So they're implying that Joe Chill killed the Waynes because of a personal vendetta.
Even though most
Sorry,
let me just finish this thought right quick, Nick.
Yeah.
Even though most versions of Joe Chill, he was just, for lack of a better
Desperate.
term, desperate and a petty burglar who just wanted to steal and write off some pearls and sell it off, pawn it off, and for lack of a better term, the gun went off during the altercation is what I'm trying to say.
It's hilarious because 3 Jokers literally answered this. But go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I think this is this just screams solution in search of a problem kind of thing. Because,
Well, it's written by Tom Taylor, so that's why.
Yeah. Like, taking away the randomness, like JJheat said, it kind of reduces the impact. Because, having the Waynes die to just random street crime, like, the gun just randomly goes off, it shows that anybody can be a victim of Gotham. There literally is nothing to keep you safe. Like, if even the richest people in Gotham can be killed by the streets just randomly, that just makes Batman's mission that much more important. Making it a personal vendetta kind of removes some of that a lot.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people were against, like, even them naming the kill of the Waynes, because when it first happened, it was just a random dude that we didn't know who Joe Chill was. So the more you get specific, I do agree with you. It cheapens the impact because why else is Batman Batman at that point?
I thought his killer's name was Jack Napier.
This again.
Oh my gosh, that's that piece of.
No! Don't you dare finish that sentence, sir.
Yes, I can. I can complete that sentence if I want to, because that's a stupid thing to put in. It wasn't like he didn't, and it ended up that was just Bruce like internalizing it. I think that was according to like the script writer or something like that. I will say I'm sorry, Nick. I know you like 1989. The Joker being behind the Wayne's killer, killing the Waynes is stupid.
Yeah, I'm not going to defend that, but like the rest of the movie's good.
The rest of the movie's good. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Even though that's not Bruce Wayne. Anyway, continuing on.
Tell me, Jared, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Anyway.
Remember, hey, you would have got glasses, would you?
So yes, I would. And I'm strongly considering it. But anyway, so that's what's going on with DC All In. So far, I'm liking it.
All right, Cameron's comment.
Oh yeah, Cameron says, "Damn it, Nick." So JJheat, what do you think of DC All In so far?
DC All In, it has potential. Now, is it essentially just a rebranded Ultimate Universe? Arguably what the New 52 should have been, but I'll digress.
I'm talking about All In, not just Absolute.
Okay. But the initiative itself, it has potential. It leads to new jumping on points. This is a new status quo. It works. Now, although this technically wasn't a part of All In, I would do my fans a disservice if I didn't bring this up. Heartless in the Tom Taylor's Nightwing run is just a Nightwing or Bloodhaven version of Hush. I'll say it. Like,
yeah,
there's no mystery here.
The Watcher says, I'd argue DC is doing the Ultimate Universe better than Marvel.
Depends which version of the
it's a
Ultimates we're
little
talking about.
Well, here's the thing though. We're only one issue in on Absolute so far of all the books. Let's wait until like an arc goes by before we can really say which one is doing better. Because Marvel's like 10 issues in right now, all of which are good, except for Ultimate X-Men. But they're like essentially. Let's wait until DC gets some more books before we could say that. Absolute Batman, it was a great read. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it. Absolute Wonder Woman was chef's kiss. So much. It's so nice. I'm going to say this, to have a comfort Wonder Woman book. It is so, because now I can be excited to read Wonder Woman. Oh my God.
And then they announced that Tom King is going to be writing for Absolute Wonder Woman.
No.
No.
So what's actually interesting is like Absolute Wonder Woman, by the way, Wonder Woman. So JJheat, on average, how well does Wonder Woman sell? I mean, in general.
In general, you're probably looking about 65 to 70,000 units on average.
Well, guess what? Guess how much Absolute Wonder Woman is selling? Over 100,000 copies.
Dang.
Compared to the decreasing in popularity and money Tom King book, which is kind of funny because Tom King is the... Sam Pear congratulated old Absolute Wonder Woman on launching. King didn't.
Hey, Jared, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What is the writer-artist team that, if they were announced, would make you go absolute bat crap crazy, happy in happiness?
Charles Sewell, Tony S. Daniel.
You need
No,
think
we
about
don't
this.
Britt and I have talked about this because they're the team from Superman, Wonder Woman from the New 52.
Hey, I literally said that too, Jared. You remember that?
And I'm telling you, if they announce an Absolute Superman Wonder Woman book that's by Charles Sewell, I will have a conniption live on air.
Wait. What about Charles Sewell and Greg Capullo?
Not Greg Capullo. I don't like the way Greg Capullo draws Wonder Woman.
Not a good match.
Okay.
I've seen those two together, not a good match.
Watcher says, what was it? 200,000 Absolute Wonder Woman? Somewhere in it's abnormally high for Wonder Woman. That's the point that I'm trying to make here, Watcher.
The question is, do you think DC's going to take notice?
They already have. They definitely already have. Now, in terms of Wonder Woman, now here's the thing. Now let's wait and see how like the first arc does, because here's the thing. We all know that number ones for a new universe are gonna sell well. That's just the way it works. If those sales stay relatively like consistent, on there, because it was like number one on Bleeding Cool sales charts. But anyway, if it stays relatively consistent in that area for long enough, and Tom King's Wonder Woman keeps, I highly doubt he's gonna get 100 issues like he wants.
Okay, Jared. So tell us your reaction as if in the main continuity they had an issue where Superman proposed to Wonder Woman, and then like 6 months to a year later they got married, and they made it a full comic book event.
Would they actually go through on it? I have to ask that because of Batcat.
Yes.
And that is live reaction of me watching the Clois stands fall apart.
Guys,
I'm pretty sure.
Wait. I was gonna say, Jared, have you seen the concept art for the guy who was originally gonna design the Absolute Superman?
No. Why don't you share screen? Share screen.
And while we're waiting on that, I'm pretty sure, Jared, you and I covered that on New Direction Verse at one point. I'm pretty sure we did that.
Let me get the tweet.
Which?
No, the Superman and Wonder Woman marriage. I'm pretty sure we covered that.
Yeah, we did. We
Okay.
did. Yeah, yes, we had them get married. We had a scene, and this was me being petty. Superman kisses Wonder Woman, dips her, and Steve Trevor's right over there, and the Superman just gives Steve Trevor the finger.
All right, do you see that?
Hold on. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Not bad, honestly. I like those are like the original character designs. I like to see that none of them have the red shorts. Ha!
But
I like the one with the veins on the ribs.
I think that's a little bit too much in my opinion, but to each their own.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this basically Supergirl's origin? Like, what if Kal-El was a teenager when Krypton was destroyed?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure I wasn't.
These were the designs, but I didn't like the color, no color in this one. I was like, no.
And I prefer having the collar, particularly for this. But Britt brings up a good point. So Wonder Woman 14 was touted by Tom King and Sapphire and DC as the most important issue of the run.
Mhm.
It did not get a second printing, nor did it get the reception they wanted, because that's the one where Wonder Woman desecrates an American flag, cries on it, and then they do the clay origin, but make it all about a man. Yeah, exactly. That's where I have a problem with this run, because King also said, what's the problem with a lot of Wonder Woman runs? They tend to focus too much on her love interests and her villains. And I'm like, this is literally what you're doing, dude.
Now, you did have some potential with Emily. Now, granted, this was a red herring from around Amazon's attack. I don't know if this got changed due to editorial or Tom King just had a last-minute change of heart. Hello?
No, by the way, did you know that they literally reference Amazon's attack, like the bad one, in the first issue of Tom King's Wonder Woman?
Yes.
I'm reading this and I'm like, and it was kind of funny. I showed this to Britt and she got pissed. She was like, why would you reference that?
And not in a good way, where like you're doing the same thing but better, like Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1.
Or in Britt and Mai's case, where we literally create an entire fan fiction universe that is predicated on taking what DC's screwing up and fixing it.
You know, Jared, you just need one more day.
Get him out. Get him out.
Jesus.
That's
All
it. That's
right.
where I draw the line.
Where's
I'm
the
sorry.
clip?
Okay,
Thanks,
I'm just
Alina.
gonna say,
The Watcher says, I'm not a fan of Tom King's Wonder Woman run, and I enjoy most of King's work. See, the thing is, King works if he's A, on a 12-issue limited series, or B, on an obscure character that no one knows about. And that's the thing. And NZO brings up a good point. DC overestimates Tom King's popularity. They think he's their top writer, but he's not. It seems a lot like it was Tom King's change. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so my mic didn't go out for that brief second. Okay, I thought it did.
Yeah. See, I like some of King's work. Sheriff of Babylon was good. Mr. Miracle was good. I've heard Omega Man is good. I've heard Superman Up in the Sky was good. I've liked some parts of his Batman run, except for so he did this arc called it's called The Gift or something like that. So Booster Gold wants to get Batman a wedding gift, but again, he's Batman. What do you get from him? So Booster goes back in time and saves the Waynes just so Batman can like have a life with his family. It goes horribly wrong. Like, for some reason, the other DC universe becomes psychopathic. Like, Hal Jordan shows up the first time you see this and he goes, they tell me I can't harm myself with this ring, but I wonder if I have enough willpower. Boosh! And he blows his head off. Catwoman is a mentally ill patient where all she says is like meow. She kills the Waynes when Booster brings her to see the Waynes.
You know what I would do if I was Booster?
What?
I would go back in time, and
The way it works.
I just go into the theater. I like put out a serious line and say, "Hey, Martha Wayne, can I talk to you for a second?" Like, basically let her know, and say, "Yes, I'm a time traveler. I'm here. Because in the future, since like Bruce, can you please do a voice message for Bruce to tell him how much you love him, like kind of thing."
That would have worked.
Where time still happens like normal, because I feel like with Martha Wayne, she's smart enough, even if she knows like, okay, I'm gonna die in like an hour, and she's she would record the message, and then time can still flow like normal.
Yeah, I think so. You can definitely do that. That would be something, Nick. But here's the thing, Nick.
And by the way, you give that to him, and he's like, you got the whole Justice League there, and Bruce would cry on the spot.
It's essentially like at the end of Flashpoint when Flash gives him the note from Thomas Wayne. You see, Nick, that's a great idea. That requires something that Tom King does not have. Starts with a C. It ends with ivity.
Competency?
Creativity?
I was going to say competency.
He's a competent writer. I've read good stuff by him. It's just you have to be creative enough to do it.
Editorial plays a factor as well.
That is perfect. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I like this because It doesn't
No.
do the time stream. It's a perfect gift.
Yeah.
Also, but it doesn't ruin anything.
It's like, I remember after Hal Jordan came back to life in the Jeff Johns Green Lantern run, Batman still didn't trust him. So what Hal did is he took off his ring, gave it to Bruce, and said, "Here, try it out." Bruce summoned a construct of his parents. And then at the end of it, he gave the ring back. As Hal is flying away, he goes, "Jordan, it's good to have you back." It's like that's the thing that allowed Batman to say he's not the villain he was.
Isn't there like a moment where Batman uses the ring and he willingly gives it up because it's too powerful?
Yeah, there's also a part where Green Arrow uses the ring, but he's not like trained, so it's like takes all of his like energy out. So he goes, "Is that the way it is all the time?" And then Kyle goes, "Yeah," and then all Green Lantern says is, "Damn."
Because I'm sorry, if there's one character who could put on the ring and instantly use it better than anyone else, it's Batman.
It's Batman. He's used a Yellow Lantern ring as well in the New 52. There you go.
Did anyone ever give Ra's al Ghul a Yellow Lantern ring?
No, but that would work. That would definitely work. Oh my gosh. I think Tom King would do a great Wildcat Swamp Thing or something. He wrote Swamp Thing! That's the thing. He wrote a Swamp Thing series that everyone loves!
Also, okay, here's my headcanon. Is that Yellow Lantern rings keep trying to seek out Ra's, but Sinestro prevents it because he knows that if Ra's gets it, he would instantly become a challenge for his head of leadership.
You would depose him, or you could do that and also have it where every time a ring comes, that's when Ra's is dead or in the Lazarus pit, so it can't get to him.
And it's just he's never be like, no.
Well, actually, after Batman, after the Green Lantern ring incident, what happened is when the Sinestro Corps first started getting teased, yellow rings were showing up. One went to Batman, went on his finger, but detected that he had recently used a Green Lantern ring. It was like, warning, corruption by green energy, and it just flew away.
Did Scarecrow ever get a Yellow Lantern ring?
He almost did, and it flew to him, but then John and I think Hal, and maybe John and Kyle scared it off.
Wait. Okay. Let me just get your wording correct. They scared off a Yellow Lantern ring.
Yeah. And then
scared off.
Yeah.
Literally the ring of fear.
It wouldn't be until Blackest Night where he actually got a ring on it, on his finger. Also, it was yellow.
JJheat, Talati, is there anything you want to say? I'm sorry, we're kind of dominating. I apologize.
No, it's all good. The way I see it is that I also think that DC, like for me personally, I think DC All In is a fresh new take. Right, I forgot to mention. Like I've said this on my channel. Like we talked about it on Snyder Fans Read Comics. It was like it's different, it's fresh. It's a fresh air basically for the characters.
And the thing is like the thing that struck me about the Absolute books, particularly Absolute Wonder Woman, because Absolute Wonder Woman, by all rights, she should be like she should be evil, practically being raised in hell. But even as a kid, she literally is still like. She is still Wonder Woman, and that's the cool part. And actually, I'll pull up some art real quick so we can look at
Saladia, are you saying that it's all new, all different?
No. All right, so I have this scene I want to show in Absolute Wonder Woman, and so by the way, yes, I bought 3 issues of Absolute Wonder Woman because they were such good covers. But anyway, so here's Absolute Wonder Woman. I wanted to show this off. So,
let's show that cover real quick.
Yeah. Hang on.
Oh, wait, she has tattoos?
Yep.
Yes.
Because she's a witch in this universe because she was raised by Cersei.
Interesting.
All right, I'll flip through this, but to share how awesome this book is. So she has her own
I love that Superman cover.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that dope?
Mm-hmm.
So she has her own city called Gateway City. It's attacked by demons, and then in comes Wonder Woman with a giant sword and chops them all up. She lands. She has the helmet. She marks her eyes with like the blood of her enemies. Says a spell, and then she does the Snyderverse Wonder Woman thing. So
he has the blueprint.
Yeah, the way the story goes is that Cersei is in prison on Hell. Apollo shows up and says, here's Diana of Themyscira. The Amazons have angered Zeus long enough because apparently the Amazons were the first superheroes and they were like protecting mankind for like thousands of years. They pissed off the gods. And what happened was, so the Amazons vanish. Diana is given to Cersei and he bans the word Amazon. And whenever like Cersei tries to say Amazon, we get this little squiggly thing. So Apollo leaves. This is the funny part. And so Cersei's like, I'm not going to be able to raise this kid. I'll just leave it here and it'll die by the snake. So the snake goes to bite Diana. Diana grabs it and yeets it away to the point where the onomatopoeia is yeet. She literally yeets a snake away.
Oh my god, millennial writing.
I didn't notice this until I was doing it for Snyder Fans Read Comics, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is well done.
Yeet.
And then what's cool about it is that even here, she's attacked by like a lizard dragon, but she's still like, she tames it essentially because one of Wonder Woman's lesser known powers is she can talk to animals. So she like kind of calms it. And then what's cool is that first off, I like Cersei giving Diana a bath. She makes a little rain cloud above her. But what I love about this is that throughout, as time passes, you see the cave start to become more of a home. In other words, and as Cersei says, she starts to like, Diana softens her essentially. Modern day. So there's like the absolute Wonder Woman armor fully here. She has red eyes, which I really like because it helps her stand out from like regular Diana. And then we also get new 52 inspired armor, clearly with the silver W.
Yeah, Watcher, I agree. I agree with them.
Yeah. The tattoo is definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if it's inspired by Kratos, but it is also the symbol of Hecate. So then a giant demon deploys, and like Diana has to battle it. And what I like about this, first off, she has her own air support in the form of her Pegasus, and she fights it. I like this part, how like it knocks her back, and then you see her like bounce on the sand.
Also, does she have a Buster Sword like Cloud?
Yeah, that's the sword of Athena. So the way they explain it is that sword can grow and shrink with magic. It's the size that she needs it to be.
Ah! Make my sword grow!
Yeah, exactly.
Why did I not see that coming?
And then finally,
you didn't see that coming?
Yeah, and then finally, Diana wants to know who she is. So eventually, Cersei just goes, okay, you know what? I know you're afraid. Just say the word. And then Diana is able to say the word Amazon. She says it again, and I love the zoom in on Diana's red eyes. And then and I love the attitude of Absolute Wonder Woman. The creature goes, away, warrior! You are beaten! Leave us, as we must prepare the way. This world is ours now. And then Diana's just like, no. And then she goes, we will continue to hurt you if you insist. I insist. And then
I want to see this version of Wonder Woman team up with Dante from Devil May Cry.
Yeah, and then she goes, for I am Diana of Themyscira, last of the Amazons, daughter of Cersei, princess of hell, witch of the Wild Isle, and you will not have this world while I still draw breath.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah, this is really good. So that's Absolute Wonder Woman. Yeah.
I might have to go pick this book up.
I think you would enjoy this one, Nick. See, here's what I love about this. Again, she's vastly different in terms of background. She still is Diana. And that's the purpose of the Absolute Universe. According to like Scott Snyder, he said, take away the support, the support network, the comfort zone of these heroes. They are still the heroes. It's like even Superman, he's the most hopeless thing in a hopeless world. What do you want to say, Nick?
I think I'm going to have to pick up this book.
Yeah. And then so now we're going to transfer over to a new topic. So let's do this. So we can discuss MCU Spider-Man, Jay Oliva debunks animation, and 2025 Marvel slate. So Taladia, it's your turn.
I'm gonna say the Jay Oliva thing.
All right. So Jay Oliva recently did tweets. So someone asked him about like the Snyderverse being animation or like Batfleck. And here's the thing. He made a good point. So he said that's not going to happen. Here's why. Because the pay cut going from live action to animation is so staggering that no one's going to want to do it. Plus the fact WB is probably not going to bring back like Affleck and all the people that were going to be involved in this movie. They would want to go with their in-house animation people. So it's not likely to happen that the Snyderverse could do animation unless they outsource it, though. But
why do you think when Disney Plus first appeared, you were getting like the top tier people in the shows?
Mm-hmm.
But then as it goes on, we're starting to get like we're not seeing those people come back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more like it's not necessarily likely to happen. So let me put it that way. So that's
the only reason Disney Plus was able to get like Tom Hiddleston, Sebastian Stan for their shows is because they had a new streaming service they wanted to bring people in, and so they were willing to pony up the extra money to pay for those actors.
Yeah, exactly. So that's about all I have in topic. Unless Taladia and JJheat, you have something.
So all I'll say is when Jay Oliva tweeted that out, I saw a lot of people saying live action or nothing, right? And I'm just like, there is another way you could do around things, right? And
if
there is
medium if only it was a medium that's very inexpensive. And when we had William from the Sci-Fi Center, he said do comics because here's the reason why. Because first off,
have I not been saying that forever?
Yeah, and Nick, here's something you've been saying. So, would you say that the comic book market is kind of in a slump right now?
Slump, but I see it heading in a good direction with all the
a new direction, if you will. But anyway, what William said when he was on the show is, okay, what you do, if you do it with comics, because I guarantee you that's going to sell well. So you approach WB and say, hey, in a market where it's relatively hard to move comics, this sold remarkably well. You now have numbers from now, like modern numbers, that this is a universe worth investing in.
Also, it's a proven fact that Snyder fans do buy merch.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, if they do it as a comic, and yeah, watch. I'm surprised DC hasn't. Apparently, Zach has been talking to Jim Lee about it. So, I mean, if they did it, that's a step in the path to getting live action.
I don't think Jim Lee would do the interiors. I think he'd probably do some covers.
Oh yeah, he would definitely do interiors.
Probably the way I do it is do it in like 2 or 3 big trades, like a part 1, part 2. And I guarantee you, even if you do like issue 1 is going to sell at least 100K. I guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
A Jim Lee cover. Who should do the interiors for this book in your opinion?
Stamper probably he is the artist for Wonder Woman, or Lee Bermejo. There's any number of guys that we could do, but the point is you get quantifiable numbers because that's the thing. It's like you get indisputable numbers too, because some people could say the Snyder Cut was a flop. We could say it was successful. There's like back and forth on that. If you say, no, these comics sold consistently over 100,000 copies and that's big, you want to do something with that.
Here's what I would also do. I would do a one-shot, a double issue one-shot. So basically like 48 pages for each member of the Justice. So do Batman, Superman, Flash, Cyborg one shot for each member of the League, and have it be on that character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could. And Watcher says Jim Lee would do the interiors. Well, if you wanted to release in a reasonable amount of time, Jim Lee can't do the interiors. That's the thing. Plus, he's already doing a Batman book, right? Like going to do a Hush 2. So,
yeah.
Like from his Hush too.
I could see him maybe doing like maybe the Superman one shot. By the way, Greg Capullo should do the Batman one shot.
Yep, I agree on that. Greg Capullo drawing Batfleck, that would work.
And Ben Affleck writes the script.
Yeah, you could. I've said for the longest time, here's what they should do: take all these rejected movies, just turn them into comic books. It's cheap. It's not like they haven't been completing cinematic universes in comics before. They did the original idea for the sequel to Batman with Marlon Wayne's Robin in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they
Even
did.
do Superman Lives, you could do that as a comic book. There's any number of movies. Do the Schumacher cut as a comic book. There's any number of things you could do with that. Do the Ayer cut. You could literally do comics right now.
They're even doing Keaton Batman, I believe, if the Watchers believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty safe to say a Snyder Cut Part 2, like Justice League 2, comic book would sell well. For me, I would probably do it as like a maxi event, like a 12-part maxi event. Either 6 to 12 issues is what I would do.
And then you could do like a tie-in series that's just in the Nightmare timeline, like expanding what does the DC universe look like in the Nightmare timeline. You could see like Darkseid taking over and stuff. There's a lot you could do with this. DC, hire us, we will make you money.
Also, in this one, I would at least have one panel of Shazam fighting Black Adam.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you know what I would do if I were in charge of DC? I would do this and then say, "Hey, Marvel, we have 2 Ultimate universes. Suck it, your move." I need that Obi-Wan drop of him going, "Your move." That would be me.
Hello there.
It's
General Kenobi.
Yeah, exactly. The Watcher about animated movies is just like Snyder's. You could kind of do that, but anyway. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I think let's transition to some Marvel talk. What do you guys say?
All right.
Okay.
2025 MC. Actually, I'll pick. All right, MCU Spider-Man. All right. So they managed to screw up Spider-Man again. All right. So what's
a rumor?
The rumor that they said was, hang on, I'm pulling up the article real
don't
quick.
say it.
All right, hang on. I got to pull it up. Twitter.
Don't say it.
So, I'm going to say it, Nick.
Please don't.
Yeah, I'm going to say it. All right, so let me see here. Where is this? All right, it's in Nick's. I love how Nick is acting like a wounded dog right now.
Because I know what's coming.
Yeah, you didn't see that coming?
Oh, I seen this coming.
So, the Spider-Man movie title is Brand New Day.
Flashbacks. I'm getting PTSD flashbacks.
So I'm going to read the leaked synopsis of Spider-Man.
Even I cringed at that a bit.
Following the events of Doomsday, Peter Parker is determined to live a normal life and focus on college, stepping back from his responsibilities as Spider-Man. However, peace is short-lived when a deadly new threat emerges, endangering his friends and forcing Peter to reconsider his promise. With the stakes higher than ever, Peter reluctantly returns to his Spider-Man identity and finds himself teaming up with an unlikely ally to protect those he loves. Andrew Garfield, Michael Keaton, and Robert Downey Jr. Mentioned to join the cast.
So I guess the Vulture is being shared because you know that they're doing Sinister Six without Peter Parker, and the Vulture is part of that.
Do you really think they care?
Not at this point.
Well, legally they can, because apparently they went through that whole shenanigan to drag the Vulture into the Sonyverse. They went through that whole thing. So like, how can he exist in both things?
That's a good question. But also, Doctor Doom apparently doesn't go away at the end of Doomsday. He's in this movie. So, Nick, looks like they're doing your worst fear of doing the whole Peter Parker and a variant of Tony Stark.
I really don't like this. Because like that's all like this is why I really don't like RDJ as Doom, because all of you are like, oh, Spider-Man, Iron Man. It's like, just make him an evil Iron Man at this point. What's even the point of calling him Doctor Doom? Or just having him be evil Iron Man? Sorry, this guy's getting me angry. So
you could actually just do Superior Iron Man and just be done with it. That was evil Iron Man, so...
No, but yeah, like, here's the thing. You could do Superior Iron Man, and it would work, because it's Robert Downey Jr. Like, I don't think the benefit of having him be Doctor... Like, I get it. Doctor Doom is popular. But I think having Robert Downey Jr. come back as an evil Iron Man is almost as attention-grabbing without the bull crap. Sorry, I'm just...
No, it's all good. It's all good. So what do you think, JJheat, about these leaks? Do you think they can be believed?
take it with a grain of salt, if I'm being honest, because I was never the biggest fan of leaks. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that title. Even I cringed a bit inside. Like
Yeah.
this,
Also, like, sorry. Go ahead.
and as for me, Robbie Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. Yeah, it works from a business standpoint because the MCU Phase 4 and 5 is a steady decline. It's a return to form. It it's a good business move. However, just not Doctor Doom because it's just a desperate move. You're overplaying your hand, for lack of a better term. I mean, we could have just recasted Kang the Conqueror, or we could have done Superior Iron Man, like you mentioned. There were ways around this.
Okay, can I cook for a second?
Sure, go ahead.
Of course.
You know who I would have recasted as Kang?
Who?
Michael B. Jordan.
I see where you're going.
No. Variants. Because of variants. You could retcon and say Killmonger is actually a Kang variant.
Or if you wanted to even go away from Killmonger, just say he's a younger version of Kang. Because Kang exists in multiple timelines.
From an action perspective, Michael B. Jordan would kill it as Kang. Like, oh my freaking god, he would kill it as Kang.
He was good as Killmonger. And yeah, actually, that would work, honestly. But again, that would require. But here's the problem. So with Marvel, the fan base for Marvel tends to associate characters with actors, and they would associate the Kang name with the actor. So that's
Marvel doesn't care about that. They casted Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom.
That's true.
I'm sorry. That your theory kind of goes.
Yeah, even I have to admit that kind of has a hole in there. But it could be the fan base does. It could be the fan base does, but it does still have that rule. I mean, we have to see how the movie does, because people being hyped up at Comic-Con is different than people actually showing up at the movie theater.
The thing that I like is you see a lot of people online downplaying, like, oh, the whole Reed and Doomsday thing. We don't need that. It doesn't really matter. Like,
yes, we do.
Yeah, like, oh my god.
That's literally that's the point of Dr. Doom. He did Secret Wars just so we could say, Reed, admit it. You always look down on me. And he goes, and Reed goes, no, I never looked down on you. I just thought that if you actually applied yourself, you could actually be a great guy.
You know what I would have done for Dr. Doom? I would have had Matt Mikkelsen and basically have it be to where he is actually a variant of Caecilius. Because Dr. Doom does use magic, basically in the MCU. And it's actually Caecilius as Dr. Doom.
That could work. Plus, he would be a good Doom. But anyway.
Yeah, so I'm kind of retrofitting things, but it helps that Dr. Doom is a magic user and so is Caecilius, so it kind of works.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on to our final topic, we have the 2025 MCU slate. All right.
A mixed bag, that's all I'll say to myself.
I'm going to tell you this. The only project here that I am absolutely pun intended, absolutely hype for is Daredevil. I mean, Wonder Man, I have no interest in. Spider-Man looks good.
It's Wonder Man in all but name.
Yeah. Marvel Zombies actually looks pretty cool because it's just in Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
What if I'm like, okay, fine.
I'm sorry. I only saw season 1. The animation was always god awful.
Yeah. Ironheart, I don't care about, which that's about 99% of the MCU. I'm like, why is she getting anything? By the way, watch this. I like it. Here's why. RDG stated that the started the MCU and now a variant of him must kill it in order for. No, I see. Watch
I don't disagree with that on the surface, but not as Dr. Doom.
Well, here's the thing. No, from a story perspective, that can work. It's just
not
like Nick
Doom
has said many times. The audience associates RDJ with a very specific character.
Like I think Superior Iron Man could work. I would argue Superior Iron Man actually makes more sense than Dr. Doom.
And you can still have RDJ play him. That's it. You're good.
But like you want those imagine an evil Iron Man with Spider I'm sorry, the more I think about it, the more that Superior Iron Man works.
Yeah. We should pitch that for another 2 Capes episode. Anyway, So yeah, so that's what that's what we got here. So we also have a Worlds of Wakanda series, which is like expanding into Wakanda. That's kind of cool. I'll check that out. But Ironheart, I'm just like, why?
It's a Flash situation where it's just too far along, but the suit is an improvement. You can't take that away.
Well, the suit in the movie was very ad hoc to begin with.
No, but I will say Daredevil looks freaking good for a redo
Yes,
of
it
Born
does.
Again.
And I will say, from a movie perspective, I am excited for Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, the trailer, and I was like, okay, the animation is still it looks a little wonky to me. The character designs look good, but the animation
And
is
the art style,
off.
the art style is fantastic.
Yeah, because what they're basically doing, they're homaging the Ditko era of Spider-Man.
Yeah, because that's high school. Romita Senior is more college age Peter.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just about to mention that.
Yeah, so looks pretty good. Looks pretty interesting. It's dealing with like high school age Peter, and apparently this is the MCU Peter, I think, or something like that. Or it's like, what if Peter? I think Norman Osborn is going to take the Iron Man role in this, where he's going to be a mentor, but then Peter will discover he's the Green Goblin and stuff.
Here's okay. There's a couple problems with that. In No Way Home, they explicitly said that Oscorp Norman Osborn does not exist in the MCU, which I think is kind of obvious because if Norman Osborn existed, we would have heard about him by now.
Yeah, he could have been who purchased Avengers Tower.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Avengers Tower is going to become the Baxter Building at this point.
Actually, it's going to be the headquarters of the Thunderbolts, according to the trailer.
Oh my god. But anyway, because this originally was supposed to be Spider-Man freshman year, because he was Spider-Man for roughly about 6 months to a year before he joined up with this. But I think they're just kind of doing a Spider-Man animated series now. I think it's supposed to be its own thing.
Yes, it's standalone. It was originally going to connect to the MCU like that, like you said, 6 months or 1 year before Tony recruited him for Civil War. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is looking more and more like a standalone.
Yeah, because like the thing about that concept, it's inherently limited. You can maybe get like 1, maybe 2 good seasons out of it, and it'll probably be good television. But then he has to be recruited. 6 months is not that long of a time frame.
Yeah.
Versus doing an alternate, you get to a lot more, like having a Norman Osborn in this. I think having it be standalone is probably the best thing for it.
Yeah, exactly. But all in all, yeah. So in terms of, I'm going to go around and we'll talk about which projects we're the most hyped for. For me, it's Daredevil. Nick, how about you?
I mean, do you even need to ask, sir?
Yeah. Are you prepared to be born again? ... Again. Taladia, how about you?
I have to say, sorry, I have to say either Marvel Zombies or Daredevil.
Yeah, Marvel Zombies is actually a pretty cool idea for an animated series. Particularly, they said it's going to be bloody and everything like that, so that's actually really cool.
Yeah, if you look at some of the trailers,
mm-hmm.
they go places the Netflix show did. Certainly.
Mm-hmm.
At least we don't have to wait.
Show.
At least we don't have to wait one more day. Just saying.
Wait,
best clip of the night.
This is Nick right now.
I'm sorry, Jared. I had to cover my mouth, or else your channel would have gotten banned.
All right,
I am not joking. I would have said things that would have gotten your channel instantly banned. So I did you a freaking service.
Thank you. So by the way, so Taladia.
Okay, that is 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 35 seconds.
That is the perfect. That's a Comics League moment right there. Yeah. But in terms of I think Marvel Zombies can be really fun. How about you, JJheat?
Oh man, best joke of the night. As for me,
I hate you all.
I'm gonna clip that out.
Why?
As for me, as Daredevil Born Again. But hey, Nick, if it makes you feel any better, I had to defend Quest for Peace. This is nothing.
I had to read Sid's past.
Well, touche.
To be fair, Jared has to read trouble. So,
By the way, I finished my recording and I have to premiere my reaction to the Velma Halloween special. Checkmate.
Jinkies.
Jinkies, yes, exactly. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this baby up in a bow. So let's wrap up the show. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. So I'll start with Comics League. Tomorrow we're talking about Batman Assault on Arkham, or we may end up doing another movie. I'm still trying to figure that out so people show up. But and in terms of Super Wonder Legacy, Britt and I are going to talk about the gaming history of Superman and Wonder Woman and how we would make a Superman and Wonder Woman game. And Sunday, Nick and I are discussing the S-Task episode Bizarro. And then for Wednesday, I'm talking about I'm doing a video on what Wonder Woman storylines or characters they can put in Absolute Wonder Woman. I think that'd be really cool. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's all I got. So Nick, how about you?
All right. So tomorrow I'll be doing my playthrough of Ghostbusters. And then from there, I'm actually taking a bit of a week off. I've been pushing myself pretty hard these past few months. Did Lost Kingdom, did Screecher. I need a vacation. So I'm taking the rest of the week off. I may or may not do Friday Night Frenzy. Other than that, I'm going to appear on UTC. And so basically, any obligations that Jared, I'm going to honor those. Other than that, I'm just going to sip some Mai Tais and enjoy the chaos.
Taladia, how about you?
So you guys can check me on YouTube at Taladia Plays. What coming up on my channel is I'll be doing a live stream for Sparking Zero this weekend, as I will be battling for as Goku, finishing off the story episodes, and maybe I'll have JJheat on the Discord call, and we could do collaborative there for that. And then next week, Superman and Lois episode 6. Can't wait for Jared's reaction. Myself and him are going to be reacting to that. And then Wednesday, to be determined for Snyder Fans Read Comics. We don't know if we're going to be doing Absolute Superman. We don't know what the sketch is for that. But we promise you it's going to be an entertaining show regardless. And then I might do another collaborative stream with another content creator, maybe RTP, but I know I'm doing a collaborative stream with him this weekend. So stay tuned for that.
How about you, JJheat?
All right. As for me, you can find me at JJheat75 or JJheat Blaze. Also, stay tuned for my DCAMU retrospective, which I just got confirmation that Jared will hopefully collab on. We just had to set that up. Official announcement will be soon. Damian Wayne retrospective, I did have to push some things back, but that will come out either by the end of this weekend or by Monday. Also, stay tuned for my reaction to the Velma Halloween special. And if you can get me to 300 subscribers before the end of the year, I'll react to the entire series, both seasons. We're at 291, so let's see if y'all can pull it off.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, The Watcher has said that Arkham Shadows has been very good. It's not Dini level, but it is as good as Origins, which is underrated. Yeah, I've heard good about that.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So, stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lame. She belongs to General Zod, Zois, and Max Sabat for life. We will see you later. Bye-bye.